3 months ago, I started investing in MoneyOwl after I sold off my Endowus portfolio to restructure it. My main reasons were because MoneyOwl was running a promotion whereby your first $10,000 will be managed for free by them. And they also have the very attractive Dimensional Fund Advisor investments, which are also part of my Endowus investments as well, where you can even use your SRS to fund those investments in a very diversified global world unit trust. So in this video, I'll update my MoneyOwl performance after 3 months with the platform so that you can decide for yourself whether MoneyOwl is suitable for you. Hey guys, welcome back to Honey Money SG, and in this channel we are all about building financial knowledge, share money saving hacks, and also help you lead a fulfilling quality of life. So if you haven't watched my previous MoneyOwl video in August where I actually showed you how to go sign up on their platform as well as start a dimensional funds investment, then you can refer to my earlier MoneyOwl video right here at this corner. But basically I started with a lump sum investment of $10,000 with them, and I threw the funds in the 100% equity. So that means I selected the highest risk option as well as the high risk high return, right? And I had no further additions after August 2021. Now on hindsight, August was a very bad month to start investing because in September 2021 we kind of witnessed a very bad correction in the US markets as well as the global world indexes, right? Now those were pressures coming from inflationary pressures as well as risks coming from China Evergrande crisis as well as China government clamping down on their industries. So as of that time, my MoneyOwl portfolio actually dipped quite a bit, and it was even worse up to 9.6k, right? A loss of 400 Singapore dollars. But I held it on because I have no better use of the money anyway in SRS, and probably the biggest drag was coming from the emerging markets because those were exposed to more of the China and Hong Kong stocks within the Asia Pacific region. So now in this update, let me go through how has my portfolio performed after the 3 months and see if you can do it too. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome to my MoneyOwl dashboard. So you can see here, over here in the MoneyOwl dashboard, you can have your comprehensive financial planning, investment and savings, will writing and insurance. Now for MoneyOwl, I only use their investment and savings services. So over here you can see that I have dimensional portfolios. I do not invest any money in their Wise Income and their Wise Saver. But of course, if you are interested in those, you can look at them. But for the purpose of this video, I'll just go through what I have in my dimensional, right? So you remember, I actually invested $10,000 into my dimensional portfolio, and I've used SRS funds. So I call it the SRS Dimensional Honey Money Portfolio. And so far, it gained me around $280, which translates to around 2.8%. So let's click in further and see how is it doing so far, right? So you can see my cost of investment is around $10k. There's a small disparity between the cost of investment versus the net deposits. I guess there may be some cash components that are not invested, or there may be some currency conversions. Not too sure about that, but it's less than $3, so don't sweat over it. But so far, unrealized gains have been $280 or around 2.82%. And if we use the time weighted return, right, that means extrapolated to 12 months, it will be around 4.08%, which is not too bad, but also not good as well, because it's just the same as CPF SA return of 4% risk-free. And I think that's really because of the September market correction, right? We experienced quite a big correction, so it affected my SRS portfolio quite a bit in this dimensional portfolio. Especially, let's look at the holdings, right? I have Dimensional Global Core Equity Fund in SGD, which I talk about it a lot in my Endowus videos. So this is really my favorite unit trust from Dimensional Global Core, and I prefer it over the Dimensional World Equity Fund because I believe I have a stronger conviction in the developed markets of the world rather than the emerging markets. So for the emerging markets, I also have quite a small exposure, which is in the Dimensional Emerging Markets Fund. Okay, so you can see my portfolio value here is only around $1,190. So it has a loss of $10 because when I invested my dimensional funds, 88% will go into the Global Core Equity Fund, and then 12% will go to the Emerging Markets Fund. So we can look at the difference here. If 88%, that means I've gained almost $288 on this Dimensional Global Core Equity Fund over the span of 3 months. But for the emerging markets, I lost around $10, which is not much, but it also means that it has wasted time and some money on it. And the main reason you know, right, because emerging markets are mainly in the China and HK stocks. So with the Evergrande crisis, a lot of stocks actually fell from their peaks, especially for China companies. So that really dragged down the emerging markets index by a lot. And that's why you see this emerging market funds isn't performing very well for the past few months. So I think that is reasonable. But luckily, I only have quite a small exposure of it. So if you want to look at 100% equities, what is the asset allocation for Dimensional in MoneyOwl, right? This is the holdings. We have a total of 8,755 holdings. So 88% will be in the developed market equities and 12% of it will be in the emerging market equities, which is the emerging markets dimensional fund. And then the developed markets is the Dimensional Global Core Equity Fund. And of course, if you look at developed markets, definitely US will be the majority, covering over 55% of the country allocation. Now followed by Japan and China. Now surprisingly, China is only like 4.4% of this SRS portfolio. But it has actually dragged me down quite a bit during September, where my portfolio has fallen to around 9.6k SGD. So really emerging markets can go high, can also go very low, and it has a wider range of fluctuation. Okay, and if we look at the sector allocation, of course, most of the companies will be in the information technology sector or tech companies like your FANG companies. Now it's called the Gamma companies, right? Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Apple. Followed by financials, so these are your banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America. And then we have some of the consumer discretionary industrials, which are fairly around the same percentage, right? 12 to 13%, but majority still in tech, close to 20%. And let's take a look at what are the fund details, right? So if you want to read up on what is Dimensional Global Core Equity and also what is Dimensional Emerging Markets Large Core, then you can download their product highlight sheet and then take a look at what are they talking about, right? So you can read all these product highlights, their brochure, and see what do they invest in and what's their investment strategy, what are the parties involved, what are the risks, and then you can take your time and read all this. I really love this Dimensional Global Core Equity Fund from my Endowus days already. That's why I really have quite a strong conviction in it. And they have performed for me quite well in the Endowus days. So with MoneyOwl offering this, I think this is my go-to fund. But unfortunately for MoneyOwl, you cannot choose like 100% in the Dimensional Global Core Equity. You have to take their fixed allocation between 88% global core and 12% emerging markets. So that's something that you cannot change, but you could change and customize that in Endowus. So that's a slight difference over there. Yeah, so that's just my very simple overview of how my SRS portfolio has done. And also, you can see from MoneyOwl platform is that it's really a very simple platform. There's really not much things that you can do here, unlike Endowus platform, right? You cannot go and customize other portfolio. You cannot go and look at your trend graph and see how are your investments doing over time. You don't have like the chart, the very nice chart in Endowus that shows you your money in, money out thing, right? Anyway, with MoneyOwl, I talked about this in my previous SRS video, right? There's actually a promotion on top of the usual referral code where you could get $20 of GrabFood vouchers, right? So for SRS, if you invest during this period between 1st October to 31st December, you can actually get to enjoy some of the additional rewards such as capital vouchers. So they split this between 3 tiers. For tier 1, between $5,000 to $9,999 fresh funds invested with MoneyOwl SRS, you get $30. Then for tier 2, if you invest between $10,000 to $4,999, you get $100 of e-capital vouchers. And then if you reach the higher tier, which is $50,000 of fresh funds, you get $200 e-capital vouchers. And then you can spend all these vouchers at your capital land malls such as Bugis Junction, Plaza Singapura, right? I think it's a very good time to open this. I wish I had opened this when their promotion opened in October instead of what I did in August. But I guess you cannot have your cake and eat it, right? So if you haven't opened your MoneyOwl account and you want to invest SRS, this is the perfect time to do it. So you can sign up using my referral link down below, get the $20 GrabFood voucher as well as your e-capital vouchers if you are using SRS. Of course, this does not apply if you are using cash to invest, so it makes no difference. And this is also valid for existing customers. You see, both existing and new customers are eligible for this promotion. So if you have some SRS funds that are uninvested, even if you are an existing customer with MoneyOwl, then don't hesitate to put in more funds into SRS now. So yeah, I hope my sharing of the MoneyOwl portfolio update has helped you to give you a better insight of how MoneyOwl has performed for me. Most importantly, you must go and think for yourself whether MoneyOwl is good for you, right? I cannot really advise you on that as I'm not your professional financial advisor. So with that, if you have found value, just help me comment a thank you in the comment section below. I'll really appreciate it, and let's get back to the video. Alright, welcome back. So you can see that MoneyOwl has generated an overall positive return for me after 3 months, but I'm not sure if past performance is a good indicator of future returns, right? Also, the first $10,000 managed for free promotion may not last after 31st December 2021. So we see whether MoneyOwl will continue with this promotion, and if they don't continue with this promotion, then maybe I may consider to shift all of them back to Endowus, because I can have 100% dimensional global core equity, which is my favorite unit trust. So we'll see about that. And if you want to sign up for MoneyOwl, remember to use my referral link down below where you can get free grapefruit vouchers. And additionally, if you invest with SRS, you can also get additional e-capital vouchers as well. So I hope that you gain some value from this video, and if you do, remember to give a like at the bottom of the video. It just takes 1 second of your time, and consider subscribing to my channel for more personal finance and investment content. Also check out our Honey Money community Telegram group right over here at this link. My name is Christopher. This is Honey Money SG, steering young adults to financial independence.